Good day, everybody. Meteorologist Mark Molnar here. I want to thank you for joining me for this edition, wintry edition of Weather Eastern. We have a few changes going on with this winter storm, so I really want to focus on just basically this winter storm Thursday night, Friday night, and maybe some areas early Saturday morning. So, you know what? Without wasting any more time, I'm going to give you all the particulars, what I think is going to happen, and all the model analysis. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell button. There are timestamps in the description down below. Don't forget to question or comment. I love to read your questions or comments. Let's get into it. All right, let's take a look at my snowfall map, my last call snowfall map, and then I'll show you what the models are going to do here with regards to snow, ice, and to storm track. Basically, in this widest area, the 6 to 8 inch darker purple, Bangor, Maine, Portland, we're looking at Binghamton right on the border here, Buffalo, you're right on the border, 6 to 8, and then into this middle zone, 8 to 12 here in this later pink. You see places like Syracuse, Albany, Boston, Concord, Portland, you're right on the edge, so you are in Burlington as well. And then we get into these higher elevations north of Albany, west of Concord, south of Burlington. 12 to 18 inches widespread likely in this zone where the snowfall really intensifies rapidly. We will taper off pretty quickly here as we head south. I'll show you this. Binghamton, you're right on like the city of Binghamton, 4 to 6 inches of snow and sleet. But then you just head north to the airport and then places north in the northern part of the county, you'll be getting quickly into the 8-inch range pretty quick. Here you head towards the New York, Pennsylvania border, and you're looking right around 3 to 4 inches of snow and sleet, more sleet than snow. And then you get into northern Pennsylvania, that's where the sleet is predominant, and then you head south of that, and you're into a lot of freezing rain problems. Here in southern New England, we'll start as heavy snow, and then we'll mix it out to sleet and eventually freezing rain. All right, taking a look at ice totals here. Not much has changed with this. This is my final ice map here for the Northeast. Clearfield down to Altoona and Johnstown area. This is where the bullseye is going to be, about anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2 an inch of ice. You got to watch this because this can bring down trees and power lines. This is not fun to deal with here. And then here in the southern Poconos as well, I think some of the highest elevations could see anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2 an inch of ice. So watch out for falling trees and power lines. And then outside of this zone, you're going to see about 2 to 3/10 of an inch of ice here into the orange zones outside of these main zones. And then here into eastern Ohio as well, pushing towards Cleveland, about 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of ice. Here in State College and Harrisburg as well, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and the southern portion of New England here. And outside of this, generally 1/10 of an inch or less, so ice will be a little bit less of a threat here into the light pink. All right, everybody, look at these snowfall maps here. GFS. Look at this. Well, yeah, we've pretty much eroded a lot of the snowfall here across Pennsylvania. We basically have a demarcation zone here along the New York, Pennsylvania border. We have what we call probably an all-out sleet storm, according to the GFS here, from Erie over just around the Bradford area, along Route 6 in Pennsylvania. Binghamton and Elmira, this is going to be really close. You see Elmira here at 8 inches, but you go just south and you're at 0 inches. Yeah, this is tough to forecast here. 5 inches in Binghamton, and then you go south of the border, you're in 2 inches. And then just north of you, you're in 8 inches. So you're going to be all snow here north along the New York State Thruway into central New England, Boston 11 inches, Albany about 10 inches, Buffalo 6 inches, 7 inches in Syracuse, 5 inches in Erie, and about 3 inches in Cleveland. And look at this, we get over to Concord, we're right around 10 inches, Portland. This is interesting. You were much higher last night, about 4 inches now on the GFS. Let's take a look at the high resolution Euro. Okay, now the Euro has been consistently colder and a little bit further to the south. It's interesting to note the Euro still holding on to 8 inches here in Binghamton, so there's still the possibility. I'm thinking, you know, it's going to be close. Elmira about 5 to 6 inches, Erie about 4 inches, 2 inches in Cleveland. Look at this, 10 inches in Albany, so you're about right in the bullseye here from Albany to Boston corridor here, and we will see 6, 8, 9, even 10 inches up here. That's more like it in Portland. Probably pushing 6 to 8 inches, maybe closer to 10 inches here according to the Euro. So, and then we erode this down in Pennsylvania where we're going to be seeing a lot more ice. Let's take a look at Now, this isn't the most accurate thing on the models. Ice, you don't really want to plaster your ice accumulations on the model because you don't know exactly where the model's getting its calculation here from ice. You can see this is probably much overdone. An inch of ice here over, wow, Clearfield County, Pennsylvania. Not buying that. I am buying a quarter to a half an inch of ice, though. So you reduce these by about 50%. I've going back over time. So right around Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, cut that in half. You're about 3/10 of an inch of ice. Here in the southern Poconos, yeah, you're about 3/10 to 4/10 of an inch of ice. So yeah, you're going to be dealing with ice back into through Ohio here too. Look at this. Probably about a 1/4 inch on average here. Cleveland, look at that. Probably 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of ice. And then Binghamton, barely anything. So more of a sleet storm than anything here, right along this border. We get into a little bit of ice over here in Connecticut as well. If we take a look at the GFS's ice, and we'll take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer as well. Here it is. GFS is the GFS is pretty similar here on the ice. Pretty interesting, noting anywhere from a 1/4 to a half an inch in the southern Poconos and over here in the Highlands. So this is interesting. It's a good model agreement here. So let's take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer. Yeah, it does overdo ice a bit, but actually it doesn't look as terribly overdone as, say, the Euro. We're still getting reports, yeah, an inch there. In Clearfield County, Pennsylvania, not going to happen. You're going to see about a 1/4 to a half an inch. Maybe locally higher to 6/10 of an inch in some of those isolated higher terrains. Here in the southern Poconos as well, just south of Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, watch out for this heavy ice. Here in northern New Jersey as well. If we take a look at the snowfall here, take a look at this. Yeah, wow. If this verifies, the NAM is really, the NAM has been really spot on with these sleet storms lately. If this NAM verifies, this is an all-out sleet storm here from Erie, Bradford, Olean, Jamestown, Elmira, Binghamton, all along Route 6 in Pennsylvania, and the Poconos, northern Poconos, and the Catskill region here, the southern Catskills. So, yeah, the NAM is pretty certain on a big snowstorm here across basically the New York State Thruway, eastward to Albany, and over to Boston here. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. Now, if we take a look at the simulated radar here, this is going to kind of paint us an interesting picture here. See what the NAM 3 kilometer is all about here. And we get this into just around midnight here. Yes, we have this big old slug of moisture moving in here to eastern Ohio. There's Cleveland breaking out the sleet already. Starting off as freezing rain here briefly in Pittsburgh before we quickly change that over to rain. And then we get into, this is about 3 a.m. here, Cleveland up to Erie, sleet and freezing rain. So we're borderline on that snow here. And then we have quite a sleet storm developing here in the interior parts of Pennsylvania. Snow really bursting heavy here. Places like Elmira, Binghamton. This is the time frame you'll get most of your snow accumulations. So is this low pressure just south of Pittsburgh, right around sunrise here. Warm air making it all the way up just into Crawford County, Pennsylvania. Look at that, changing over to rain. Wow. And staying ice here in the Laurel Highlands, and then over, look at this, sleet storm. So as you're going off to work or school, if there is school, look at that, snow is going to be bursting heavy here in upstate New York continuing. So I'm a little skeptical as to why the NAM's going so low on some of these snow accumulations, especially in the southern tier of upstate New York. Then we start to get into that sleet storm here. This is getting into your mid-morning. Sleet continuing. Look at that. Just heavy sleet in Binghamton, Elmira. Wilkes-Barre, Scranton right on the edge of sleet, freezing rain. And that low really heading up towards, look at that, just east of Buffalo here. So you're going to stay over to snow here in Buffalo. And then we're going to see a little dry slot move into the Finger Lakes here, according to the NAM. Keep in mind, this is like simulated radar. We're getting towards the noon hour here. Low pressure just moving north of the Binghamton area. Snow, a burst of heavier snow just behind it. So we cut off here in Pennsylvania. Maybe some freezing drizzle cut off behind this low, but then we fill it in. You see snow. Would not be surprised if we see some squalls here back in Binghamton and Elmira, and then we continue heavy snow squalls here across, especially the higher elevations in New England here, and really getting some snow here in down East Maine, and we don't really start to pull this low east of Boston out until pretty much after midnight. See, we're still dealing with some snow here in the Boston area. That'll give us another couple inches. So, yeah, if we take a look at the GFS here, let's put this, well, yeah. Okay, here we go. GFS, it's a little bit more crude. This is not like simulated radar, so to speak, but look at this. Right around midnight, Thursday night into Friday morning, you get the picture. Heavy sleet across interior Pennsylvania, turning over to freezing rain. This is the area. It's Clearfield County on southward, Altoona, Johnstown. I'm very concerned about some heavy ice. And then look at this. This is by about the time we get into sunrise. So low pressure already winding up here towards McKean County, Warren County, Pennsylvania. Dry slot coming in behind it. Heavy sleet here in the Binghamton area. So the GFS brings the sleet in quicker, but look at that. We dry slot pretty quickly towards the noon hour, and then we shut precipitation off. The GFS is a bit more progressive here. Look at that. Pretty much kicking that thing out. And then we get into the Euro. Look at this. Put this into motion. Let's get towards, actually, let's back this up right around midnight. Here we go. So snow over to sleet and freezing rain. Cleveland, Erie, starting off with snow there. Pittsburgh quickly changing over to some rain. Moderate at times, even heavy. The Euro is a little bit more bullish here on freezing rain. That's interesting. And then we have sleet here along the northern periphery. And then look at that band of heavy snow there. That's right around sunrise. So hinting at a lot of snow here on the Euro, much colder here in upstate New York, really holding on to that cold air. Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, you're teetering between sleet and freezing rain here, and that low, the low is unanimously going towards the Finger Lakes here on all the models, if you notice. And then the Euro kind of dry slots us here towards noon hour, just after noon, before pulling off right around the sunset time frame here. So interesting. Taking a look at Thursday night here, that area of low pressure, I'm just showing you the surface map for Thursday night and Friday for the Northeast. I will cover the rest of the Northeast for the rest of the segment in the Southeast in a different, later segment and different video. But we'll take a look at the ice here across the Johnstown, Altoona, and then up to Clearfield County, and then over to the west here, north of Pittsburgh, into Ohio. We'll get anywhere from a quarter to a half an inch of ice, locally higher amounts to 0.6 of an inch possible. And then we'll start off with snow, sleet, and then freezing rain across the rest of Pennsylvania here. We'll erode that here into Harrisburg as we finally get above freezing into the early morning hours. And then here in upstate New York and central New England, we'll break out into the heavy snow most of the night, heavy accumulations. And then that'll be moving to the northeast. Let's take a look at your Friday here. And here it is, low pressure moving up through western Pennsylvania into western New York. We will have a smattering of precipitation types here. Heavy snow here to the north, continuing in the capital district of upstate New York, Syracuse, Concord, Portland, Burlington, and up to Bangor, Maine. 32 in Boston, so we'll be teetering right on between heavy snow and then sleet moving in with freezing rain towards the coast here. And then freezing rain early in the morning, changing to rain. But see this purple area? We will have especially early morning heavy sleet across the Binghamton area. So there you have it. Rain making its way up to Harrisburg, 57 there in D.C., making it up into the mid-30s, places like Binghamton State College and Scranton before the front moves through, and then we'll crash back down. You see Buffalo and Erie, and Cleveland will be changing back to snow with additional accumulations of a couple inches possible behind this low pressure as things switch over as this low moves to the east and transfers its energy to this coastal low. All right, extended outlook, hometown viewers, Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna region. Well, we're going to kind of subtract Scranton a little bit out of this because of the fact that Scranton's going to see more in the way of freezing rain. So this is more closer to the New York State, Pennsylvania border up to Binghamton. Look at this. Thursday night, we'll see snow and sleet. It'll start as snow, and then we'll change over to sleet probably around 3 a.m. Heavy sleet into your morning commute, up to 5 inches of snow and sleet. And then Friday, we switch over to sleet, snow, freezing rain, and then changing over to plain rain in the valleys by about the time 11 a.m. We'll see up to an additional inch of mostly sleet at this point, and then we'll clear it out for your evening commute. Saturday, we clear it out, 32 degrees, low of 12, and then Sunday, scattered snow showers, 39, your warmest day, and then Monday, we cool it down again with another Arctic blast, turning windy, 25. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button if you're new to the channel. Facebook Media. Give my Facebook page some love, MeteoMark. It's also at Weather Northeastern. And Twitter, it's at Weather Eastern. You can visit me at MeteoMark.com and weathernortheastern.com. Question or comment down below. I love to read your questions or comments.